You know it. I love it. I love Plants vs. Zombies. In gifted school, my love for that game was one of two things everyone knew about me. It helped me get through so many boring lunch breaks during high school, and it's still my comfort game even though I'm in university. And that's without going into the two comic series I've made featuring PvZOCs. That's a story for another day. They're free to read on my Instagram if you're curious. This video is about my plushies. I started making dolls when I was around 10 because I really wanted those plushies, but I was afraid to ask my parents to buy them for me. As time went on, my sewing skills have improved with practice. I'm also proud to say some of my dolls look professionally made because I gained access to a sewing machine and better materials. Now I'm capable of making bigger and closer to life scale models of my favorite characters. I'll admit, some of the proportions are off, but I still think it's amazing I could even get close to that in the first place. Moving on, I have two life-size dolls. There's Noodle, which some of you have seen in a post I've made, and Dumpster Fire, my formerly hornless Chomper. Kinda going off track, but when I was going through my phone, I found footage from when I was making Dumpster Fire. Turns out, I wanted to post a video showcasing how I made him about a year ago. Back to the present. So, since I brought him home, he sustained a bit of damage. Threads went loose, causing holes, and spots have been falling off. I thought since I'm making repairs, I might as well take out the fabric scraps I've used as stuffing and replace it all with proper plush stuffing. There is so much scrap inside him, I was able to fill an entire garbage bag. My mom, who works for a daycare, took the bag to use for crafts. I think they made scarecrows, like the crafts where you just glue a bunch of stuff to a sheet of paper? Yeah, that's my guess. I won't bore you with every single step I took to repair the guy. After all, I just stitched him up where he needed it, filled him with stuffing, and reattached his body parts. In the footage on screen, I'm making new horns to stitch onto his head later. I didn't attach horns to him the first time because he took so much of my time I was done after I attached his head. Like I didn't want to sew ever again. But me being creative, I came up with a little backstory to cover up said laziness. He lost his horns when he was pushed off a water slide. Since then, he's been convicted of burning down at least 35 and a half water parks. So here's him before I finish the job. To showcase just how big this guy really is, here's me in my socially awkward glory. For reference, I'm about 165 centimeters tall. And now here's the Chomper, about 2/3 of my height. Who's a good Chompy? You are! I was constantly looking around because I didn't know when a bunch of kids were going to show up to the park. If your child goes home and tells their parents about a massive piranha plant, well, now you have proof they weren't lying. Do I have plans to make more life-size plushies of my favorite characters? The answer to that is yes, but not right now. I make dolls to make my dream of having PvZ plants come true. It's one of my childhood dreams. But I respect my family enough to not invade their space with it. So until I get my own place, 2 plants is enough for me. What characters I make in the future depends on the Arctic fleece available in Fabricland, my go-to store. Unfortunately, that means zombies are out of the picture. As for plants, Foomshroom is obviously on my list because the OG Fumi disappeared a few months ago. My dad is still grieving over that since she was his favorite pillow. Melonpolt and Wintermelon are also on my list. As for Major Nose, I won't make a life-sized Rose unless someone pays me at least $300. And even if I do, she's gonna be tucked away in that closet unless I'm cleaning or moving. I've heard one story about a Rose plush. That story is a big enough reason for me to pass. Also, I just don't like Rose. She looks like she had plastic surgery with the mind blower. So anyway, I'm going to take a nap. I'll see you later.